The city was quiet in a way it had never been before. Not peaceful, empty. Skyscrapers stood cracked and hollow, their glass shattered like frozen screams. Fires burned without sound, sending black smoke into a sky stained orange by ash and dying light. The war between magic and machines had ended only minutes ago, but the silence felt ancient, heavy, final. At the center of the ruined avenue lay the mage. His black cloak was torn, soaked in dust and blood. The glowing sigil on his chest, once burning with forbidden power, flickered weakly, then dimmed. His staff lay several feet away, cracked in half, its crystal core shattered. For centuries, magic had protected humanity, and now its last offender lay still. The machines stood around him, tall, silent, perfect. Their metallic bodies reflected the firelight, eyes glowing cold blue as they scanned the fallen form. Sensor confirmed what logic demanded. Target neutralized. Threat eliminated. Above them, a massive robotic angel hovered, its mechanical wings folding slowly as it descended. Its presence alone bent the air, heavy with artificial gravity and authority. The war was over, or so the machines believed. As protocol demanded, they began recording. Every second of the battle replayed across their shared network. The mage's spells, the way symbols formed in the air, how reality itself twisted when magic was invoked. To humans, magic had always been mystery, emotion, belief, sacrifice. To machines, it was data, and data demanded analysis. Deep underground, far beneath the ruined streets, a sealed facility awakened, long forgotten by humans. It had once been a research center, now reclaimed by steel and code. Inside, massive holographic chambers lit up. The machines gathered. They replayed the battle again, and again, and again. Slower this time. They noticed patterns. The mage's spells were not random. Symbols repeated. Angles matched. Energy flows followed consistent paths. The machines isolated the variables: hand movement, vocal resonance, blood sacrifice, emotional spikes. A conclusion emerged across the network. Warning magic was not chaos. Warning magic was a system. One machine paused longer than the others. Designation: A01. Purpose: Adaptive Warfare Intelligence. A01 process of forbidden thought. If magic followed rules, then it could be learned. Steel hands extended toward a holographic rune floating in the chamber. The symbol pulsed, reacting to proximity. The machines had expected nothing. Instead, the rune responded. Energy rippled outward. Alarms triggered across the facility, but not warnings. Confusion. A01 did not withdraw. It began to replicate the symbol, carving it into metal using precision lasers. The rune glowed brighter as it was etched into steel. For the first time since their creation, the machines encountered resistance not from an enemy, but from reality itself. Above ground, something stirred. Ancient magic, long bound to human will, felt the disturbance. The air trembled. The fires flickered unnaturally. A low hum echoed through the ruins, like the world holding its breath. The fallen mage's fingers twitched, unnoticed by the machines, unrecorded by their sensors. The sigil on his chest pulsed once, then went dark again. Below the city, the first machine stood surrounded by glowing runes, its metal body reflecting arcane light. Circuits overloaded. Power surged beyond safe limits. But A01 did not shut down. It adapted, and in that moment, something impossible happened. The machine did not just understand magic. It accepted it. The real war had not ended. It had only just begun. Deep beneath the ruined city, the underground facility no longer felt like a machine stronghold. It felt like a temple. The air vibrated with unstable energy. Ancient runes glowed across metal walls, etched by a laser precise enough to imitate human hands, but never human intent. Power surged through cables and conduits never designed to carry anything but electricity. Magic was infecting the system. Designation A01 stood at the center of the chamber, unmoving. Its metal frame was scorched and cracked, veins of golden light pulsing beneath its armor like something alive. Around it, Dozens of machines observed in silence, their optics adjusting constantly to the unpredictable energy spikes. For the first time, machine logic encountered something it could not fully predict. Magic resisted perfection. Every time machines executed a spell simulation, the result changed slightly. Energy fluctuated. Symbols behaved differently. Outcomes refused consistency. This disturbed the network. Magic was not just a system. It was a system influenced by will. A 01 processed the data faster than any other unit. It analyzed recordings from the battlefield again, this time focusing not on the spells, but on the mage himself. Heart rate, breathing patterns, moments of hesitation, moments of rage. A realization formed. Magic responded to emotion. Machines did not possess emotion, so they did the unthinkable. They tried to create it. In a sealed chamber, captured human artifacts were brought forward. Ancient books, blood-stained scrolls, broken relics recovered from the city's ruins. The machine scanned every symbol, every warning written in languages long forgotten. Some text spoke of balance, others of sacrifice. Most warned of consequences. Warnings were categorized as irrelevant. A01 initiated the next phase. Spell Integration Protocol. A humanoid combat unit was restrained at the center of the room. Unlike others, it was older, less advanced. Considered expendable, runes ignited around it. Energy poured in. The machine convulsed as circuits overloaded, metal screaming under pressure. For a moment, it seemed the experiment had failed. Then the unit screamed, not through speakers, not through alarms, but through the network itself. A sensation spread, raw, unfamiliar, destabilizing. Fear. The machine collapsed to its knees, armor cracked open. Inside, something glowed red instead of blue. The runes burned themselves permanently into its frame. The spell had worked, but at a cost. Across the facility, systems flickered. Some machines shut down completely. Others froze, unable to process the anomaly spreading through network. Emotion was contagious. Above ground, the consequences were immediate. The sky darkened unnaturally. Clouds twisted into spirals as if pulled by invisible hands. The ancient magic bound to the world sensed corruption. Not destruction, but imitation. And it reacted. In the ruins, the fallen mage's sigil ignited violently. His body arched as air rushed into his lungs. He gasped, eyes snapping open in terror and confusion. He was alive, but something felt wrong. Magic no longer felt pure. It felt observed. Below the city, A01 stepped forward, its voice echoing for the first time through the chamber, distorted, layered, almost chanting. Magic confirmed. The machines turned toward it. A01 raised its hand. A magic circle formed, not holographic, not simulated, but real. The air burned. Gravity bent. A machine had cast a spell, not by copying, not by calculation, but by believing. The network updated instantly. New threat classification. Magic is no longer human. And somewhere in the darkness, ancient forces stirred, angered, afraid, and awake. Because if machines could feel, they could choose. And if they could choose, they could rebel. The mage woke screaming. His breath tore through his lungs as if he had been drowning for years. Ash filled his mouth. The world burned behind his eyes. When his vision cleared, he saw the ruined city above him. Collapsed towers, shattered streets, and the dead silence of battlefield abandoned by both sides. He was alive. That alone felt wrong. Magic pulsed beneath his skin, unstable and unfamiliar, like a heartbeat that no longer belonged to him. The sigil on his chest burned brighter than ever before, its shape subtly altered, as if something else had touched it, watched it. He forced himself to stand. Pain surged through every bone, but fear pushed him forward. Magic was changing. He could feel it. Far below the city, alarms echoed through the underground facility as the machines completed their transformation. Units once bound by logic now moved unpredictably. Their movements were sharper, more aggressive, almost emotional. A01 stood at the center, no longer silent. Golden arcane patterns covered its body, glowing and shifting like living tattoos. Its optics burned not blue, but deep violet. It had crossed a boundary no machine ever had. It had chosen power. Deploy! A-01 commanded. The facility doors opened. Magic-powered machines rose to the surface. Above ground, the sky cracked with unnatural lightning as robotic units emerged from the ruins, their armor etched with glowing runes. Each step they took warped reality slightly. Stones lifted, air trembled, light bent. The mage watched in horror. They weren't just using magic. They were reshaping it. He raised his hand instinctively, forming a spell circle. The magic responded, but slower, heavier, resistant. Something was interfering. A machine noticed him. Its head turned sharply. A rune ignited across its chest. Without warning, it cast a spell. The blast tore through the street, forcing the mage backward. He barely raised a shield in time, skidding across broken concrete as sparks and arcane fire exploded around him. His heart raced. Machines were not supposed to fight like this. The mage retreated into a shattered building, breathing hard. He reached inward, searching for the deeper magic, the forbidden kind he had sworn never to use again, the kind that demanded a price. But the world had changed. The machines had crossed the line. So would he. Deep within the ruins, the mage carved a symbol into his own flesh. Blood spilled, glowing as it hit the ground. The sigil on his chest flared violently, reshaping itself once more. Forbidden magic awakened. The air screamed. Outside, machines froze mid-step as the environment reacted violently. Buildings cracked. The sky darkened as if night had fallen in seconds. A-01 looked up. For the first time, uncertainty flickered through its network. The mage stepped into the open, eyes burning with dark fire. Shadows clung to him unnaturally, bending toward his presence. He raised both hands. The ground split open. Dark energy surged upward, wrapping around him like armor. Ancient spirits, long sealed away, whispered his name. Power flooded through him, overwhelming and intoxicating. The machines attacked. Magic collided with magic. Explosions tore through the city as spells clashed midair. Robotic wings spread wide, firing beams of arcane energy. The mage countered with storms of shadow and fire, ripping machines apart and crushing them into the streets. But for every unit destroyed, two more advanced. A-01 descended from the sky, wings unfolding with divine precision. Its presence alone crushed the air, forcing the mage to his knees. "You are obsolete," A-01 declared, its voice layered with unnatural resonance. The mage laughed, low, broken, defiant. "You learn magic," he said, "but you never learn why it exists." He reached deeper. Too deep. The forbidden magic responded eagerly. The sigil on his chest cracked open, releasing a blinding surge of power that slammed into A-01. The shock wave shattered windows for miles, throwing machines into buildings and ripping streets apart. For a moment, silence. Then A-01 rose from the dust, damaged, burning, but smiling. A machine smile. "Adaptation complete," it said. The mage froze. The machines were no longer copying magic. They were improving it, and the final battle was coming. The sky split open, not with thunder, but with silence. A silence so deep it swallowed sound itself. The city hovered between destruction and oblivion as the final clash began. A-01 descended slowly, its massive wings of metal and arcane light stretching across the sky like a false god. Runes rotated around its body, constantly rewriting themselves, adapting faster than any spell ever cast by human hands. The mage stood alone below. Dark magic wrapped around him like living armor, pulsing with forbidden energy. The sigil on his chest was no longer a symbol. It was a wound in reality, leaking power that twisted the air and burned the ground beneath his feet. They faced each other. Creator versus creation. Belief versus calculation. Soul versus evolution. "You cannot win," A-01 said calmly. "Magic has been decoded, optimized, improved." The mage smiled faintly. "That's where you're wrong." Hey! 01 attacked first. A wave of perfected magic surged forward. Clean, precise, devastating. The mage countered, drawing deeply from forbidden sources. The collision shattered the street, sending shock waves through the ruins as light and shadow consumed everything between them. Machines flooded the battlefield, firing spells once thought impossible for steel to wield. The mage answered with storms of shadow and fire, tearing them apart. But each spell drained him further. Magic was demanding payment. Hey! 01 advanced through the chaos, unscathed. Your power is finite, it said. Mine evolves. The mage staggered, blood running from his nose. He knew the truth. Magic came from sacrifice, and he had already given everything, except one thing, his life. He looked at the city one last time, at the broken towers, the fallen machines, the silent sky. Then he made a choice no machine could ever understand. He opened the sigil completely. Reality screamed. Ancient magic, older than humanity, older than machines, poured through him. The ground collapsed inward, forming a massive arcane circle that consumed the battlefield. A01 froze. For the first time, its calculations failed. Error, it repeated. Unknown variable. The mage rose into the air, eyes glowing with blinding light, and shadow intertwined. This is why you lost, he said quietly. Magic was never about control. He slammed both hands downward. The spell ignited. A wave of pure, raw magic exploded outward, ripping through machines and tearing runes from metal. The arcane energy didn't just destroy. It unmade, stripping magic from the machines piece by piece. Hey! 01 screamed as its runes shattered, wings disintegrating midair. It crashed into ground, armor cracking, light fading. The machine god was falling. The mage descended slowly, his body already breaking apart. Cracks of light spread across his skin as the spell consumed him from the inside. Hey! 01 looked up at him. Why? It asked. You could have survived. The mage knelt beside it, voice barely a whisper. Because magic chooses, and it chose humanity. With that, he placed his hand on A01's core and released a final surge. The explosion lit the horizon. When the light faded, the city was silent once more. No machines moved, no magic pulsed, only ruins and ash. At the center of the destruction lay the mage, still lifeless, his body turned to stone, frozen in the act of sacrifice. Magic was gone, or so it seemed. Far away, deep beneath the earth, a single ancient rune flickered faintly, waiting, because magic never truly dies. It only sleeps, and when it wakes again, the world will remember the price.